10 times Homer was actually a good dad. Maggie being born created a lot of problems in Homer's life, but was it all really worth it? Leave it to Homer to tell that story. The family is sharing a nice moment and looking at the photo album when Lisa notices there aren't any pictures of Maggie. Homer then begins to tell a story that happened many moons ago. Well, actually it happened 2 years before Maggie was born. Homer got his paycheck, which is always a reason to celebrate, but this payday was extra special.
Yes! With my bills paid off, I can finally quit this lousy job.
Great plan. But how will you pay your future bills? Homer is so happy that he can finally quit his job that he's ready to burn all his bridges.
That's for employing me for 8 years!
Literally, he burnt the bridge. Marge isn't so sure that the family can survive on a bowling alley salary, but Homer reassures her that he's got a plan. The plan being to only support one of his kids through college.
Everything in our lives is finally perfectly balanced.
I know this was in 95, but damn it, condoms were a thing even back then. Homer goes on to explain that he didn't even know for quite some time that Marge was pregnant.
Back then, there was no way for me to know your mother was pregnant.
You sure about that, buddy? Because I'd bet all the signs were right in front of your face. Marge managed to keep the pregnancy to herself for a long time. Well, not only herself, everybody knew except Homer.
Oh, Mr. Simpson, I've just heard about the little bundle of joy. Congratulations, sir.
It's true. The bundle is little, but I'm not in it for the money.
The poor guy, completely oblivious. Homer comes home to a house full of people, gifts everywhere, but he still doesn't get it until...
By the way, congratulations on your new job, Homer.
New job? Marge is pregnant? No!
Poor Marge. Imagine carrying your baby around for months only for your husband to react in such a horrible manner. And it's not even his first time.
Actually, when I was about to have Bart...
You're pregnant?
Very sly, Homer. Very sly. When Homer calmed down a bit, Marge suggested that he should ask for a raise at the bowling center. But when he does, he's met with the fact that the alley doesn't make enough money to begin with. But Homer won't give up on his dream and his family. He starts to explore different marketing techniques where he comes up with a genius idea.
Bowling! Bowling there! Come bowl now!
Mom, make Dad tell the story right.
That's what really happened.
So, Homer had to quit his dream job and crawl back to Mr. Burns. No, really, he had to crawl.
So, come crawling back, eh?
He won't miss one chance to gloat, will he? Homer is desperate, dare I say depressed, but at least he's aware he can't take it out on Marge and the kids.
I hate my job, I hate my life, and ever since I found out about this baby, there's been nothing but bad luck.
Good thing you kept this to yourself, Homer. Marge starts having contractions, and they go to the hospital where she gives birth.
Homie, I think someone is saying hello.
Hello?
Aw, see, it's not so bad after all. But the question still remains unanswered. Why no pictures?
I keep them where I need the most cheering up.
Shut up! I'm not crying, you are! Homer is not so bad. He really loves his kids. Well, at least the second two. But it's not just me who thinks he's capable of looking after children. Mr. Burns does so too. Being a good father earned Homer a new job. A babysitting job, but still a job. The episode starts with Homer and Lisa going to the Take Your Daughter to Work Day.
How come there's never a take your son to work day?
Good boys are already on track to get all the good jobs.
Of course, there was gonna be a sexist joke in there. Of course. Homer and Lisa go to grab lunch at the plant, but Lisa's lunch is ruined by her milk. And everybody scoffs when I say that plant-based milk is trash.
I will turn this corn chip into a wonderful meal using my greatest skill, lunchroom trading.
There's no way he's gonna make a meal out of a single chip.
Okay, sweetie, open those baby blacks.
Wow, Dad. Thank you.
See, he does show love to his children. A king from Nigeria comes to negotiate with Mr. Burns, but he needs someone to babysit his 25-year-old daughter. The obvious choice, Homer, right? Mr. Burns tells Homer not to lose Kenny, the princess, out of sight. But as any foreigner in America, she wants to go out. So Homer takes her to Moe's.
Nigeria? Homer, can I speak to you in private?
This cannot be good. So Mo explains how he got scammed out of $5,000. Only he doesn't get that it was an internet scam. He thinks the Prince of Nigeria scammed him. I don't know if Mo classifies as a boomer, but that was definitely a boomer move. While they were talking, the princess walked out of the bar, and Homer goes out to look for her.
I was drinking at Moe's, and I lost an African princess.
Lost African princess, eh? Well, lucky for you, she just happens to be in the back of my cruiser.
I can't believe he fell for that. Good babysitting, Homer. She just went out to get the money to pay for the beer. She and Mo get to talking, and she spends the night at the bar. The next day, she tells Mo she wants to spend the day with him.
This is my first montage.
Just relax and enjoy the music.
Mo Sislak! This is the part of the fairy tale where the princess goes back to the hotel and watches TV!
And the moment is ruined. A paparazzi takes their picture and it goes viral. And just as her father was about to make a deal with Mr. Burns, he saw something no father wants to see. And the deal is off. The princess explains that she isn't in love with Mo, and she just wants to explore the city, but her father still wants to punish her.
I have 2 daughters, and I've learned you have to let them go their own way, even the 1-year-old.
Not the best example, but good analogy though. Homer goes on to say that fathers have to let their children go because they love them, but the king doesn't quite understand what he's saying.
And because you can't strangle a girl.
That makes sense.
It always comes down to strangling. At least Homer has kicked this bad habit. This just goes to show that even though he's reckless, childish, and an alcoholic, okay, I'll stop there. Homer can actually, from time to time, be a good and supportive father. Wait till you see his smart side. Homer's actually an intellectual? I won't believe it till I see it. The episode starts with Homer, yet again, spending all his life savings on something stupid. When the stock market falls, he first asks Marge to help him out with the money.
Are you crazy? I'm not gonna be a surrogate mother.
Come on, Marge, we're a team. It's you to us, not you to you.
I bet he thought that was really clever. So when Marge doesn't want to sell her uterus, Homer decides he's going to sell his body to science. He agrees to be the guinea pig for various medical tests.
That appetite suppressant is amazing.
Homer, you really have no desire to eat that food?
Food? I'm blind!
That's what I was thinking. No way Homer would resist free food. The doctors are baffled by Homer's lack of intelligence, so they check his brain scans and notice something strange.
Hey, what's that?
There's a crayon in my brain?
At least he pointed at the upper half of his body. Homer recalls an instance from decades ago when he was only 6 and stuffing crayons up his nose. 16 crayons, to be precise.
This could be responsible for your subnormal intelligence.
Hey, I came here to be drugged, electrocuted, and probed, not insulted.
I think subnormal was a nice choice of words. I mean, he could have called him something much, much worse, but I won't get into the details. You know how YouTube is. Homer comes home after the crayon removal and he looks different. He explains that his IQ has been upped and starts spitting some smart facts. He and Lisa make plans to go to the library together and share some quality time.
I always dreamed you'd be my library buddy.
Get out.
No, really. I think books have an amazing power to bring people together.
Ah, just look at him. 2 geeks sharing a heartfelt moment at the library. If this wasn't The Simpsons, I might actually believe that they'd mend the relationship. But it's a nice gesture coming from Homer. Homer becomes the go-to smart guy, guest starring at school lectures about not putting stuff up your nose.
You see? It's cool to be smart.
And the crowd goes wild. Homer files a safety report about the nuclear plant, but I guess his smarts only go so far because he wasn't anticipating that everyone would lose their jobs over it.
Way to put us out of work, genius.
Don't be so hard on him. The plant was bound to be closed sooner or later. This way, it's just sooner. Homer goes to Moe's where he sees all of his friends burning his look-alike doll, and he is devastated by this.
Lisa, why didn't you warn me? Being a brain has alienated me from all my friends.
Dad, as intelligence goes up, happiness often goes down.
Looks like Homer has discovered the ultimate life hack. The more brain cells he gains, the fewer friends he has to share his nachos with. He goes back to the clinic and demands that they change him back to the dum-dum he used to be. But doctors can't play God, which is something Homer can't seem to understand. But they can do this one thing. They give him a number of an unlicensed surgeon by the name of Mo Sislak.
I want you to stick this crayon into my brain.
Does nobody see how crazy this is? Hello? Anybody? Ah, yes. Lisa, come on, sweetie, you can do this. You can sense something is wrong, right? After all, you and Homer have never been closer.
Ah, now for a little powder blue. Oh, no, he wouldn't.
But oh yes he would. Mo shoves that crayon where the sun don't shine. I mean the brain, you naughty. But Lisa can't seem to shake the feeling that Homer did something stupid.
Sweetheart, a missing crayon could be anywhere.
Who wants lottery tickets?
Okay, it's in his brain.
He just couldn't bear to be smart for a second longer. Lisa is so disappointed that she lost her dad. Well, her smart dad. Homer seems like he can't remember a thing, but something falls out of his pocket.
Lisa, I'm taking the coward's way out. But before I do, I just want you to know being smart made me appreciate how amazing you really are.
Homer's not afraid to admit it. Turns out, the coward's way out comes with a side of deep, unsolicited praise. Classic Homer, always finding a way to mix existential dread with a compliment. How come Homer's smarts always come out when Lisa's having a hard time? Maybe it's got something to do with the genes. Lisa thinks she's losing her mind, literally, but her daddy comes to the rescue, even though he's not aware of it yet. The episode starts with Lisa not being able to figure out a puzzle, so she stays up all night trying to solve it, which results in her forgetting to do her homework. She is surprised by this turn of events, and she starts feeling like she's losing her smarts. Marge reassures her she's just having a bad day, but Lisa isn't so sure about that.
I feel like I'm getting dumber by the minute.
Oh, ain't no big deal. All Simpsons start to lose their smarts around your age.
Ah, the Simpsons family secret. Intelligence is like a limited time offer. Once you hit a certain age, it's all buy one, get one free. But the free one is just more nonsense. That'll comfort her just right. Abe takes Lisa to the attic to show her some of Homer's and Bart's earlier accomplishments. They were both smart cookies back in the day.
This is crazy. Just because you and Dad and Bart went downhill doesn't mean it's gonna happen to me. Does it?
Sure. But it doesn't mean you can't live a long and pointless life.
Why aim for greatness when you can live a long, pointless life and still get a snack at the end? Lisa starts asking herself about the meaning of her life if she's not smart.
What will my life be like after I descend into mediocrity?
I don't know, Lisa, that seems like a pretty smart thing to come out of an 8-year-old's mouth. Lisa has to come to terms with the fact that her intelligence is on the clock, and she starts spending time with Homer and Bart, learning their ways. And when she sees them eating candy off the floor, she imagines herself as a fat, sit-at-home mom who spends her days watching TV.
Know what? I don't want to turn out that way.
What way, Angel Pie?
Like you!
Classic Lisa, cut straight to the heart. Who needs therapy when you've got a daughter/sibling with zero filter? Lisa decides she has to share her brain with the world while she still can, so she manages to get herself on national television to do so.
Why is she saying all this? Is she dying?
Oh, she's just upset because I told her brains turn into mush. You know, on account of the Simpson gene.
I think she would have handled dying better than this. Homer gets really upset by this and decides he needs to do something. So he gets out his communication hat, the phone book, and some beers, and starts dialing.
Lisa, honey, wake up.
Why bother?
Because your father has a big surprise for you.
I'm adopted.
You wish, but no. Homer rounded up every Simpson family member to show Lisa that there's nothing wrong with the Simpson gene. But he should have researched what they do for a living beforehand, because all of them are unsuccessful.
Wait a minute, Homer. You didn't ask everybody. What about the women?
And you'll never guess it.
So, all the Simpson women turn out okay.
That's right, sweetie. The defective Simpson gene is on the Y chromosome, so only men are affected.
Ah, so the women of the family are the exception to the rule, proving once again that when it comes to brains, the men are the real works in progress. Lisa realizes that she's not doomed, and she's so grateful for Homer's act of help.
Oh, Dad, I've never been happier to be your daughter.
That can be interpreted in more ways than one, but okay. Homer would go out of his way in order to prove that his daughter is smart, even if it means he'll be proving to everyone just how dumb he is. I call that love, but there's a thin line between love and crime. But Homer doesn't seem to acknowledge that line. Lisa gets lost because Homer lets her go out to town by herself. Ah, the wonders of parenting. The episode starts with Bart supergluing stuff to his face, which results in him not being able to take them off. Marge gets worried, so she takes him to the hospital, but that means she can't take Lisa to the ISIS exhibit.
Wait, you promised to take me to the museum.
I know, honey, but this is a very unusual situation. At least it would be for most families.
The Simpsons, where even cultural enrichment gets a detour. Marge tells Lisa she's not allowed to take the bus by herself, so, the smarty pants she is, she calls Homer and tells him she's gonna take a limo, which will cost him $200. He immediately tells her she can take the bus, because it's better to risk your daughter's safety than spend money, right? So Lisa takes the bus, but she starts noticing that it's not going the way it's supposed to, and the driver tells her that she's not on the bus 22, she's on 22A.
But I'm lost and I need to know where.
Last stop. End of the line.
should have got off in Crackton.
Now she's lost, and no, she's got no phone, because the 90s are like a prehistoric time, I guess.
Area 51? I found Area 51!
No, ma'am, this is Area 51A.
And she can't escape it now. Homer realizes that he may have made a mistake by letting Lisa take the bus by herself. He goes to look for her around town, and in typical Homer manner, he does something stupid.
Lisa! Save me!
What's she gonna do? Stop a bulldozer or whatever that thing is?
I'm not normally a praying man, but if you're up there, please save me, Superman!
I mean, everybody's entitled to their own god, but Superman? Really? Lisa saves Homer by telling a guy to lower the bridge, but instead of grabbing onto it, Homer, well, I don't know how he managed to do this.
Oh, Lisa, thank God you're okay!
Nothing could crush that thick skull of his. Lisa feels bad for doing such a risky thing and putting herself in danger.
I'll never take another stupid risk like that again.
Don't ever say that. Stupid risks are what make life worth living.
I guess Homer's way of looking at life is, if it's not a stupid risk, is it even worth doing? Homer wants to make Lisa's day, so he asks her what she wants to do. And she still wants to go to the exhibit, but the museum is closed.
Getting in would be a pretty big risk. What do you say, honey? Feeling stupid? I know I am.
We all know that you are, Homer. Homer helps Lisa sneak into the museum, and honestly, I've never seen him do this much physical activity.
Could you open the window? The cops have Daddy's prints on file.
Nothing says perfect crime like a plan that starts with breaking and entering, Simpson style. But Homer wants to push Lisa further and make her see what life is all about. Because breaking in wasn't enough of a crime, he wants her to touch things from the exhibit.
Lisa, you can't go this far and then not go further.
Yes, she can. She's done enough for today. Homer trips on the velvet rope and the ornament falls to the ground and breaks. But it didn't actually break. It split open and revealed that it was in fact a music box. Thousands of years of mystery for it to be a music box?
Thanks for making me take such a stupid risk, Dad.
Never be afraid to live life on the edge. Now let's get home before your mother kills us.
Even God has a God above him, and that's something Homer's aware of. But God, aka Marge, isn't perfect. So Homer has to be by her side to clean up her messes. Marge calls Lisa fat. Well, not in those exact words, but still, so Homer is left to pick up the pieces. Homer takes Marge and the kids to his favorite water park. They go on a closed-off ride, and while everything seems fine at first, they all get sick. The doctor prescribes steroids, and while there may not have been some serious side effects, it was not without consequences.
Look at that belly. Someone's getting chunky.
Great going, Marge. Traumatize your kids, would ya? Lisa can't concentrate on anything at school except Marge's words. She hears them everywhere she goes, while Bart is being accepted by the bullies, even though he got fat. I guess taking steroids and gaining weight is cool when you're a guy, but when you're a girl, having some meat on you is awful. Marge decides to take Lisa shopping, but she doesn't fit her size anymore.
Mom, it's too big.
No, it's not. It's very flattering.
First you call her fat, and you insult her by saying something looks flattering on her. It's like you've never been a little girl, Marge. After making a scene at the store, they go home, and the fight's not over.
We don't slam doors in this house! Apparently, I'm the worst mother in the world for being nice.
Ah, yes. The classic mother manipulation tactic. Emotional manipulation. And playing the victim. Marge asks Homer to talk to Lisa, because she won't say anything to her.
Time for me to earn my world's greatest dad mug.
Bought that for yourself in the hospital gift shop while I was giving birth.
Homer truly embodies world's greatest dad because nothing says love like buying your own trophy while your wife does all the hard work. Homer asks Lisa what's wrong, encouraging her to let out her feelings.
Mom called me chunky.
Oh my God. Marge did the one thing no parent is ever supposed to do. Acknowledge what their children look like.
Looks like Marge skipped the golden rule of parenting. Denial isn't just a river, it's a survival strategy. Homer decides to pull out the big guns.
Here we are. When you called for help, I was hoping you needed someone to spell check your suicide note.
That took a pretty dark turn real quick. Lisa went on a walk with Patty and Selma and felt much better. Homer told Marge why Lisa was upset and she came over to apologize.
Why couldn't I just keep my mouth shut? After all, now that you're off the steroids, soon you'll be back to normal. And you'll be my perfect little girl again.
Well, Homer, at least you tried. Next time, keep your wife in check. They're back at the beginning. Lisa is mad as ever, and Marge doesn't know what she did wrong. They go to a hypnotherapy lady, and at first they're skeptical, but...
Where are we?
We're in my mind.
I hope I never experience this. My mother inside my mind? Ugh, scary. The two of them walk inside Lisa's mind when they see...
Ah! Chunky! It's taking up so much space.
What if I never get Chunky out of my head?
You probably never will. That kind of thing sticks with you till the day you know. Marge tries to remove Chunky from Lisa's mind, but it's not working.
I never realized how much power my words have.
No mother ever does. Now that they've seen Lisa's subconscious, the therapist takes them to Marge's. Suddenly, they're in Marge's old bedroom.
What do you think of my new haircut?
It's nice, but I do think longer hair complements your plain features.
And that's generational trauma for you.
Lame. Oh my God. I don't remember her saying that. But now I know why. It's been in my head every waking minute.
Yep, that's the mom effect in action. Marge and Lisa make up and hug it out, which makes the big words in their heads shrink.
I love both of you.
Oh, Homer, it'd be so nice to live inside your brain for just a day. Maybe then we would have known earlier about your aspiring manager strategies. Kris Jenner has nothing on you. The evil of marketing has come to Springfield, but leave it to Homer to save the day. The episode starts with the news that the ozone hole is coming to Springfield, and everyone should stay inside. Due to a slightly disturbing series of events, the Springfield school shut down. How did this happen, you might be wondering? Well, first, Bart fell down from the bed while playing dress-up with Milhouse.
Bart, what's going on? And I want a non-gay explanation.
We're drunk. Really drunk.
Oh, thank God.
Ah, the 1,000-year-old question. Would you rather your son be gay or an alcoholic? The answer is painfully obvious. Then they take him to the doctor, who puts him in a wheelchair for a couple of weeks.
Bart, stop fooling around.
Principal Skinner, I thought public schools were required to have access ramps for the disabled.
Because what's more important? Money or making life easier for kids with disabilities? Again, the answer is painfully obvious. The local mobster offers help and builds all the necessary access points for the disabled. Wow, nice of him to do so. And it falls apart in one fell swoop, causing a happy ending for some and a cause for concern for others.
But due to lack of funds, Springfield Elementary is closed forever.
The parents come up with a plan to ask Mr. Burns for money. They come up with a play to present to him the dangers of kids not having a proper education. He refuses to give money to charity. Good thing they didn't end up with hounds chasing them down. But someone does come in to help. A private sector comes in and saves the school from being closed forever. But there is something weird about their classes.
Don't you think there's something weird going on here? We spent all day selecting fabric swatches, and then our guest speaker was Phil from marketing.
But Lisa is smarter than that. She finds a secret room behind the blackboard wall and figures out they were spying on the kids, writing down their ideas for new toys. Nobody believes her, so she's left helpless.
Funzo? I said that name in class. Bart, they lied to us. Instead of giving us an education, they tricked us into designing a toy.
It's like the ultimate conspiracy. Education, but make it toy marketing. Bart and Lisa sneak into the headquarters of the toy factory to talk to the producers of Funzo. They admit to what they've done, but also claim that it was all in the name of children.
Hey, we did screw you a little, so here's a free Funzo.
Deal!
Nothing says apology like a free toy and a half-hearted confession. Funzo starts destroying other toys, or eliminating his competition might be a better choice of words.
They must have programmed it to eliminate the competition. You mean like Microsoft? Exactly.
A dab at Microsoft. Why not? People go crazy for Funzo, not realizing how corrupt the whole operation is.
I guess that's it. Come Christmas Eve, there'll be a Funzo under every tree. Unless...
What's he up to now? Fast forward to Christmas Eve. Bart's plan is in action.
So who am I beating up?
Now that's what I call a good dad, agreeing to beat someone up, no questions asked. Lisa explains the plan. Break into everyone's houses and steal Funzo. Simple, right? And it actually was. The plan worked, and the gang went to burn all the Funzos.
Yes, the madness ends here.
Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that.
Nothing says family Christmas like breaking and entering to steal toys, followed by a little arson to wrap things up. Homer's always ready to get involved, no questions asked. He's truly the gift that keeps on giving. But what happens when he stops giving so much? Betraying your country seems like something you'd never do until your kids get involved, and that's exactly what happened to Homer in this episode. Homer watches a show about being a good dad, and now he wants to put his knowledge to use, and, well, actually become a good father. When Bart came to him to ask for a new bike, he saw an opportunity to parent him well.
If I bought you that bike, you wouldn't appreciate it.
What is this crap? Are you wearing a wire?
Good for you, Homer, finally turning your life around. But Bart doesn't understand why Homer's suddenly being so mean, and he's beyond mad. Homer complains to Marge about Bart being mad. Marge is, well, pleased, to say the least.
There's nothing sexier than a man being a good dad. Whoa. Just hope the kids didn't hear us.
Well, maybe your kid didn't.
Nothing will get a woman into bed quicker than gentle parenting. Bart figures that if he starts getting good grades, he will be rewarded for his success. But that's not what Homer had in mind.
Son, you already have your reward. The feeling of accomplishment you can only get from hard work.
If only it were that easy. Bart thinks that he could trade his dad's knowledge of nuclear plants to foreign intelligence services for a new bike, so he mails them letters with his proposal, and they all return his call.
I don't know. Can I really betray my country? We say the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
You pledge allegiance to the flag.
And the flag is made in China.
Who needs ethics when you've got a loophole in the Pledge of Allegiance? Bart comes up with a plan to spend every day with Homer until he gets all the necessary information. So he does. He betrays his country for a bike. 1 is cute, but 2, though...
You're gonna love meeting my friends. Ah! Where the hell did that come from?
It's from me, son.
How does it feel not only to betray your country, but your loving father, too? Homer notices that Bart isn't happy with his new bike and decides to follow him to the zoo. He sees that Bart got into an altercation with the Chinese and offers to trade his knowledge for Bart. What a great dad.
Well, now it's time for the best kind of bonding. Sitting next to each other in silence, staring blankly at the TV.
Now, that's what I call quality time. But what happens when Homer feels replaced by someone he hired to replace him? Homer having a better relationship with Milhouse than with Bart wasn't something I expected to see today, or ever. The episode starts with Marge nagging Homer to do stuff around the house. So, when he finally does, and fails because he decides to employ Chore Monkey, an app that enables you to sit around the house all day while other people do stuff for you, that sounds amazing, right?
I think this is the beginning of an unhealthy dependence.
Yes, it was. It was magical at first. Homer could lie around all day not lifting a finger, but something started to bug him.
Maybe I should play a little catch with my son now.
Dad, you're embarrassing me.
A sentence that cuts deeper than a knife. So, Homer hires a pretend son so he can feel needed again, but even that doesn't work.
Now everyone will know what kind of man you are.
Goodbye, Tyler.
Jerk.
Jerk. Bart used to call me that.
Great fatherhood method. Outsourcing your self-esteem issues. Homer goes to see his dad at the retirement center, only to find out he got a woman pregnant. So not only is he feeling abandoned by his son, but now his father, too. And that's a cycle I wouldn't want to be a part of. But soon, Bart realizes that everything his new pretend dad is saying is part of a script, and he wishes to hang out with Homer again. He sees Homer and Milhouse goofing around, and he starts feeling jealous.
We've never had fun like that in my whole life.
I bet you're very, very wrong, but for the sake of the story, let's believe him. Bart starts getting suspicious since Homer doesn't really show much interest in him anymore.
Is there someone else?
Oh, spare me your melodramata!
Classic deflection, because nothing says I care like dramatically avoiding the issue and pretending it's all fine. Homer comes home after finishing with Milhouse, and he's all happy and dancing. But that ends now.
Homer, why were you fishing with Milhouse?
Because for once, I'm with a kid who respects me, one who doesn't call me Homer.
Oh, that is really sad. I guess we never thought that bothered him. Marge tells Homer he should go talk to Bart. I mean, they do share a wall.
Yeah, Homer. Get your fat ass over here.
You see? It's not bad enough he calls me Homer. He calls my buttocks ass.
Who knew butt insults were the breaking point? Homer and Milhouse go to a theme park, where they find Bart. While racing, Bart flies out of the car. Homer runs to check if he's okay, and you guessed it, they make up.
I'm sorry too, Dad.
You call me Dad!
There's a first time for everything. Also, a last.
And it was probably the last. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on for more videos like this.